Okay, welcome back out to Dartmoor. I've got a friend, he's joined me, he's gone for a little walk. He's given me permission to do a little walk around his tent. So I'm going to show you straight away so we don't waste any time as it's getting a little bit darker. This is the Hilleberg Soulo. You can obviously see Lassie over there. And I bought my Namage 3 GT. We've already got it pitched up here. We've put, make it nice and secure for him. We've got 2 pegs on 2 lines there. 2 pegs on these 2 lines here. Couple of pegs holding it down to the ground there. Around here he's got a couple of pegs holding these 2 lines down, 2 pegs there. And then when we come around here, we've got 1 peg there, 1 holding the base down, 1 holding that base down, 2 here. And then when we come around here, we've got 2 pegs here, and then there's 2 pegs there. We kind of came to the conclusion, because the wind is blowing in this direction, that it would be a good idea to anchor this side down here as best as we can. And then obviously you have this covering across here, 3 cross poles, 1, 2 going front and back, and then another cross pole going over the middle. This does look, and of course is, a very, very strong tent. Let's have a look inside. You've got your door here, and then this door here opens up. Let's have a look. This actually looks quite nice in here. This doesn't look too bad actually, does it? You've got this double door system here. So looking at it, you've got 2 pockets here and here. Just those 2 pockets there. You've got a good height in here. And it looks like, of course that's a mesh. So the door's got a mesh on it. So just coming inside here, I've never been in one of these before, so I'm kind of curious here. So you've got a mesh, so you can undo this for ventilation here. And of course you've got a T-door here coming down here, so you can open that up completely. But the only ventilation that you have, because he did say that condensation is a bit of a problem, and the only ventilation that you have, I saw right there was a gap on the top somewhere. It's over there somewhere behind me. There's a small vent in the roof, and that's the only ventilation that you have. Alright, so I've put this onto super wide to try and get as much in as we can. So I've got the door done up here, and obviously there's a vent here, up there, which can be undone there, and that can be undone there. So you've got this vent here, so that would probably be enough to keep most of the weather out and give you some ventilation there. It's not a bad little vent there. Obviously you've got 1 vent on this big door here. It pitches very, very close to the ground. There's just 1 door, 1 piece here, so there's no ventilation there. You either have that one done up or undone. I'd have it undone personally. I wouldn't be doing that up. You may as well have the extra space in here. You've got a tag up here to do the door up with. It looks a decent size, I have to say, when I'm lying down in here. So that's I'm lying down, that's my head here. I can sit up there. I mean, this wall is close, but it's not too close. When that's done up over there, I've got, you know, there's enough room in here. It's cozy for sure. It's definitely cozy in here, but it is a one-person shelter. There is more room in here than the Acto. I'm sure this is more spacious than the Acto. Not by a huge amount, but I think from my memory that there is more room in here than the Acto. But it's not a lot in it, but I think there is. I think it, especially at the foot end, there's more room. The vestibule, I must admit, this vestibule, which people that follow my channel will know is something that I'm very hot on. That is pleasing for me, that I can put my feet out into the vestibule area here, and you know, I've got plenty of room there. And if I had the door open, if I open the door there, you know, I can have my feet out here, and I'm still under cover here. You know, maybe if it rained, you know, my feet might get a little bit damp there, but not so much. And I could always put my feet here in this area here. If I had this, you know, there's a footprint here, but you know, I put a foam mat down myself or something like that. I wouldn't bother with a footprint myself, but you know, it's not mine. I'd put a foam mat down here, you know, and there would still be, you know, enough room for my feet here. I could probably cook in this space here with the door open, and you'd not need to do the door up, you know, unless the weather was really, really poor. You'd have enough room to cook there. You could put some of your equipment back there. Okay, obviously if you've got a dog, you're a little bit more limited. I'd probably be having to put Lassie in that space there and then bringing inside more stuff, because obviously if you're happy to bring your dog inside, then that's obviously fine. But yeah, this is and Lassie's giving her opinion on this shelter as well, and it does look a nice, you know, it does look a nice shelter. It's obviously going to be a quite heavy. It's what, it's about 2 kilograms, something like that. I'm not sure exactly, but stay there, Lassie, stay. But there's like certainly, you know, stay, Lassie, stay. Stay, Lassie, stay. But you've got a good deal of living space in here. You know, if I was lying down, you know, when I do, you know, I've got the inner done up, you know, I'd be doing this door up again. I like to have things as open as possible until such time, you know, that you need to close everything. So you could, you know, you could have it like that, couldn't you? I've got this bit of foam mat here just so I got a bit of protection from the ground because it's a bit cold. You could lie down here like this and do your cooking in this area here, Paul Messner style, or your frying and everything else like that, you know, quite successfully there. And you know, as long as it wasn't hammering it, Lassie, go back, and as long as it wasn't hammering it down, Lassie, go back. hammering it down with rain, you would actually get away with not closing your door in this. Go back, Lassie, go back. With not closing your door in this. Yeah, I must admit, as a tent goes, yeah, I quite like this. So, you know, if you want to carry the extra weight, Lassie, go back. If you want to carry the extra weight, you know, I reckon this is not a bad shelter actually. Like I said, this is just a quick one-off video. We pitched it, he pitched it. Lassie, go back. We pitched it, mostly pitched it himself. He pitched it about 5 or 6 times before, so I was kind of, I didn't really film it because, well, by the time it was, I thought about filming it, it was already done. But there's plenty of pitching videos on this, so you're not missing anything. But yeah, it's not bad actually. You know, I've got in the middle here, you know, I've got plenty of headroom, and there's plenty of headroom, foot room. I mean, I'm 5'8", and my head goes to there. So if you were 6'2", you'd probably be okay in here. You know, I'm guessing if you were like Jack Reacher, 6'5", you might be struggling, but 6'2", you'd probably be okay in here. You might then be touching the top more, but not so much. Yeah, I must admit, it's not a bad shelter at all. If I didn't love my MLD mountain level design tarps and things like that so much, and I like things a little bit lighter generally speaking, plus of course with Lassie, you know, I tend to go for something a little bit bigger than this, which is why I like the Scarp. Yeah, I must admit, this is not bad actually. I could almost be tempted myself one day in the more distant future. Boots back on, because it's not my shelter, and I wouldn't wear boots inside anyway. So if you're looking for a one-man tent, and you don't necessarily want an MLD tarp or something like that, which obviously I recommend, I've been using them for years, you know, this is certainly something to consider if you want to carry the extra weight of it. It pitched quite easily. I think normally you would probably put the pegs in first. My friend put the crossing poles in first, but I don't think it really matters. As long as you have the shelter secure, then it's okay to do it that way. But it pitched easily enough, pretty quick. You got loads of pegging points. Like I said, you know, each line has, each pole here has 2 lines coming off it, so you can literally double peg each individual pole can be double pegged out. So it's no wonder they say that it's very, very good in strong wind, when you can, you know, you can double peg literally every edge of the poles. So yep, I will give it the Tony thumbs up if this is something that you're interested in. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.